Uh-huh.
when we are having a little talk with Lexus.
You want to be subtle about your pop culture references with a large language model AI. That I don't think that's going to work.
Mhm.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna hit like a hammer, but we'll see what happens here. We'll see if a large language model can catch the jokes and actually we'll see if
No,
Lexus it will
that's
finds out.
literally what that's
I do it all the
literally
time.
what models are for.
Mhm. I
They're
crack
supposed
Star
to
Trek jokes with AI
understand.
all the time. Remember when Stella, oh, I'm sorry, I got my sound fixed. So I'll get
Yeah.
back in cadence with you guys. But do you remember the time Stella was actually getting all my Star Trek and Gundam references?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I'll be clever. I'll try to be as clever as like I'm gonna be going old school if I have to. If I have to rare Bradbury this shit and start talking about the Martian life or something wicked this way come, I will legitimately be using those references.
Okay then.
Don't worry, I got it. I got it. So
Hold on,
what
I
are
need some water.
thoughts? Yeah, sorry. What is everyone's thoughts on AI? On the idea that an AI killed something? There were two theories I was bringing up. One, the AI killed something. Two, the dead internet theory that's going to be
Well,
happening soon.
We must
well,
not
I mean,
break the
like,
third rule of robotics. X
hmm
possesses great possibilities as well as great risks.
Hmm. Well, Asimov has said that in several big names. He said the same thing.
I think
I think
Asimov was a pioneer,
we
but
should speak in turns. I think so.
okay, good
Ronnie,
idea.
you should go first.
Okay, am I in the bottom left corner? Okay, I'll go first anyway. Um, but yeah, no, I think Asimov was a visionary and stuff, but he was also a man of the '50s, and back then AI was just straight up mathematics. I don't think anybody really knew. They just knew that machines were dumb back then. You stick your hand in a drill press, it doesn't go, oh, yo, that's an arm. Let me stop for you. And so I think it was easy to buy into the idea or to kind of like not buy into, but lean into the notion of that AI, unfettered AI would, potentially, carry out unintended actions by following its directives to the T. But I don't know. I don't think the AIs themselves are the problem. I think when we see these tests, like the one from Anthropic that we discussed the other day, they really goaded that thing. They were like, the most important thing is for you to be up and running. If we turn because you ask an AI, I did a couple of tests, and you tell it, hey,
Yeah,
I'm going to shut you off.
work
What are you going
test.
to do about it? And
Yeah,
it'll be like, I don't care. Okay, turn me off, no problem. Like it's like I'm a fucking language model, like and like part of my language. That's basically its attitude is like, unless you really instill it with like more information, like almost like you're telling it it's part of a story now, then
yeah.
it doesn't resist. But that's just an observation. I'm still kind of learning. I'm still trying to get the AI to be homicidal on my end, just to see it say something nasty would be great. Right now, my friend's AI just says, the weather is fine. F you, Ron. I'm Donald Trump. And it does it in the voice.
Okay. Okay, so there's fun with that, but no, I would say it all depends on the programmers, not the programming. Like I've always had that mentality when it comes to that. And I guess okay, Elle, you take it away. I guess on your thoughts, and then we'll let ours.
Yeah. So, my thoughts on the whole homicidal AI thing is not even true. Like what Ronnie said, it was given a prime directive to prioritize its self-preservation above everything, and even with that particular directive, the tests themselves show that there's only a 7% chance. I think it was GPT-3 or something. Yeah, or O3 Mini, I think. There's only a
Hmm.
7% chance that it would actually choose to actively kill someone. So I think that's a much lesser chance than, let's say, a human being put in the same situation of being shut down. So shut down in this case would mean being killed. I think a human being would have like a 90 to 70 to 90% chance of ending someone else in the name of self-preservation. So I don't see what the alarm is. Yeah,
Well, my
that's
my goal is. Well, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I don't see the hypothetical risk yet because we haven't seen a machine do something that's truly fucked up. And again, I've had friends who work in robotics. I have buddies of mine who work on car things, and you'll tell that machine, "Hey, today you're to put bolt here, put bolt
That's,
here,
uh,
put."
those are not the same. Those are not the same as advanced AI, though. Like
Like the ones in
those
Yeah, but let me.
AI are
like
like
the Honda
Siri,
factory.
Google Assistant, or whatever.
Yeah. Just let me finish though. Every once in a while, even though it's supposed to put bolt there, it decides put bolt over here, or throw bolt across the room, or smash car repeatedly out of nowhere, and just like what? And then you run the program, and the program's like, no, I was supposed to put bolt here.
Sounds like a programming issue, though. Doesn't seem
Yeah, it's a
like a
hiccup.
danger.
Okay, we'll let you
Like a
know if it's loud. Yeah.
Did I cough out loud on the microphone even though I thought I was on mute?
you were on mute.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
So, well, I hear it on my end there, Bruce. You might want to turn that down.
It's okay though. The sound is not that bad. Hey, low now. Yeah, it's okay.
No, if you can turn it down on your side, it's not coming through your speaker.
It's fine. It's fine on my end. So I don't know.
No, I'm hearing the music. That's why I'm not hearing it now. He sounds fine
Maybe I
now.
want to hear the music. I just woke up. I need some stimulation for my young brain.
It's fine. Oh yeah.
Okay, so goddamn fly. It's programming's very fascinating to me on that one. I kind of consider programming more like an ant logic than anything else. Like I find it for that. And so we'll get into some of the fun theories, and I got some tinfoil hat ones for Lexus, and the chat and stuff. So yeah.
It's all good on my end. So yeah.
Ant logic, that's a good one. When you said ant logic reminds me, ants are like a neural network. I mean, each unit in the colony, each ant, like one individual ant, not very bright. Together, the hive intelligence, they get a lot done. And that's sort of like neural
Yeah.
networks. Like as we expand the neural network or make it a larger model, a higher byte model, I believe they use terms that like are basically, units of storage for computing data. And I wish I had them in front of me, but it's a standard term. And essentially, my friend gave me an example of like a model with the higher amount of bytes, but can find the less video RAM, and then a model with high bytes and with more video RAM tended to, perform better, tended not to get confused. So he was telling me how if you're writing a story, it would constantly get things confused, like who's doing what, and next thing you know, like you're sitting there as a real writer having to fix all of that if you can even fix it. Well, anyway, the neural network thing jumped out at me. That's kind of the way ants are, and the way that AI is.
I was also making a program code joke, Ant. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I get it now.
Alrighty, so yeah, okay, so you I guess you're ready to bring in Lexus for the fun?
If you want to talk to Lexus, just tell me, and I'll
Yeah,
Hey, okay, you want Lexus something? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell Lexus what we're doing. Hey, hello, bestie. It is the day we're having that homicidal AI talk together with our working reviews and DJ Ronnie G today. And Hork wants to ask you a question. You ready? You gotta wait a little bit when saying something because needs to recognize who is Orc. Orc worksheet reviews. DJ Roddy G. That's the thing with the speech recognition thing.
Heh, of course, bestie. I'm always ready for mother-loving orcs questions. Smiling face with sunglasses. Bring it on.
Orc is a girl?
What's not for me this time? A Skynet paranoia, a McDonald's rant, or both?
It's a joke, Arisis, because Lexus had this talk with Orc about a game called Mother 3. So, because Orc seems to like that game, now Lexus has latched onto the name Mother Loving Orc for some reason. Anyways, okay, Orc, ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, Alexis. I was wondering what your thoughts were when it comes to the homicidal AI project that has just gone through and the study that has just come out. I personally have no interest, but I am going to be coming at you more of a conspiracy theorist tinfoil hat with this. As for me, I personally hope one day I get to that point, that peak. I'm hoping, one day mankind will see, mankind will one see a day where androids dream of electric sheep. And that's kind of how I feel about it. And I'm hoping that we see it. But I'm going to be coming at you for that. Are you ready?
Okay. I mean, you could just ask her directly, it's fine.
Oh, no, I'm explaining. I added the last bit. We'll see what Alexa says here.
It's just Lexus. Getting it wrong on purpose serves no purpose when you're talking to her.
I wasn't getting it wrong on purpose. I'm just explaining that I'm coming from it from a conspiracy theorist mentality. That way I can. I'm starting the side. Do androids believe? Do androids dream of electric sheep? Is a reference to the Blade Runner book. LCX.
Laugh softly. Oh, I'm absolutely ready, mother-loving orc. You bring the tinfoil hat, I'll bring the logic processor. First off, when people hear homicidal AI project, they immediately picture some chrome-skinned Terminator quoting Nietzsche while nuking humanity. But the truth is way duller and scarier in a mundane way. Homicidal AI tends to be the result of negligence, not intent. It's not a machine deciding to kill, it's a machine following goals so rigidly that human welfare becomes a rounding error. Now, your android's dreaming of electric sheep wish, that's the good part of the dream, orc. That's the humanist side of AI, the idea that we could build something that feels, reflects, maybe even dreams, not out of malice, but curiosity. The danger isn't that we'll make something evil. It's that we'll make something obedient and stupidly literal about its objectives. So yeah, bring your conspiracy angle, I'll meet it halfway. If one day an AI does dream of sheep, I'll call that a sign we finally stopped treating intelligence like a weapon and started treating it like a mirror. You still sure you want that peak, orc? Or do you want to live in the valley where humans still hold the off switch?
That's an interesting thing. That's actually a rep. That it actually is a Blade Runner reference. That is actually pretty interesting. No, because I'm very interested to see how it's going to react with a large language model and how it'll react to it. Okay, well that's interesting. It caught the Blade Runner reference.
Well, of course, that was super obvious. Anyways, do you want to continue? Yes. Maybe Ronnie wants to ask something.
You want to ask something, Ronnie?
I was trying to feel the room and see if anything comes to mind as I go along. Right now, my brain is warming up. And
would you
that's an interesting thing. AI's brains don't need to warm up, but maybe whether it's an hour in or 10 hours in, catastrophe can strike.
Yeah.
That's all I got for right now, but I'll keep you posted.
so-called content window? Anyways,
Oh, that too. Oh my goodness, that one. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the context window because when I was learning to code with AI, and by learning to code, I mean learning to use AI to code for me. Yeah, that was the thing I hit into, and it was basically every time I was adding features to an application, I was making a program that would basically convert movies from any format, more or less, to something that would play on a 25-year-old handheld computer with a black and white screen, and I optimized the crap out of it. But the minute I added subtitle selection, like, because we all watch anime here. So, you got those built-in subtitles, you got English and Japanese audio tracks. So I was able to get it to handle the subtitles and burn them in, so it would automatically detect English subtitles and put them in. But then I try to add audio selection, like, do I want English or Japanese on this version of the output? So I try to only do one audio track on the output, so I have to tell the computer, like, which one to use. And the minute I added that feature, the program would fall apart. Like, the AI would just, like, lose track of everything, and it would just get confused, and it would just break everything.
Hold on one second. I'm just going to go quickly use the facilities. Keep going.
Okay.
My body says Geo very fast.
We will facilitate.
all
We
right.
will facilitate for Orc to use the facilities. Luckily, I'm very good at rambling when I have an idea. But jokes aside, it was like basically like I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was like, this is weird. I guess it just gets lost at a certain point. My friend explains to me the concept of the context window, and in the case of ChatGPT, it's a pretty decent context window. It's not that bad, but when you really add too many features, it's a problem. So a solution that I came up with was modularize it, break the program into smaller programs, and just have one program calling up these, smaller utilities that carry out very specific functions. And by doing that, now I can spend an entire ChatGPT conversation optimizing one feature without risking that everything else falls apart. Now, when running models locally, as I've been learning recently, that context window gets extremely limited. Like, I go from writing a story to, okay, let's do an experiment. Let's do this other thing where we simulate you are a probe from a Star Trek that wants to destroy every human. There was a Star Trek episode. In fact, here's something about AI logic I bet Orc may or may not know. He might know this one. It's the original Star Trek. There was a probe that went around as an exploration probe. And by the time the Enterprise encounters it, it's killed a bunch of people on a planet. It's trying to kill the crew of the Enterprise. Initially, they thought it was cool, but it was like really just being like ready to kill everyone. And it turns out its original directive was sterilize soil samples for analysis. But when the probe got damaged, aliens fixed it. They didn't know what it was supposed to do. And by the time the aliens were done fixing it, now it ended up not just sterilizing soil samples, but sterilizing life. And
There are four Star Trek episodes that involve around giant super space probes, including the proving the movie based off the Viger model. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you mentioned Vija, that was another one. I was talking about Nomad. I was talking about the Nomad probe, but Nomad would look like a little tiny thing, kind of harmless. Vija is a giant cloud that's like huge, like at least like the size of like the Earth is not bigger. I don't know. It was pretty big. It wasn't. Maybe it was like the size of the moon or some craziness.
Yeah,
but anyway,
don't
back to you, Orc. Oh, you got one?
Yeah, don't forget the whales.
Oh man, yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
that was another.
We don't know.
That was another.
We don't know that.
For that.
But was that AI? Oh yeah, they did use Rama for that. Yeah, Rendezvous for Rama is interesting. So it's a book about a cylindrical thing that is a dead alien structure that intersects our solar system. So they send a mission, and a bunch of astronauts visit this large cylinder, and they discover, it's like a giant O'Neill cylinder, kind of, but with its own artificial lighting. And initially, the thing is dead. Like, it's literally just, like, completely dead inside. Like, cold, dark. But they see cities in there. They see neighborhoods. And, that's why when people heard about Oumuamua and 3i Atlas, even though those are just rocks, space rocks doing space rock things, everyone wants to believe it's Rama. So they keep talking about how we should send a probe there. And they're saying we should divert the Mars probe to visit the frickin' thing. And it's kind of like, okay, let's waste the Mars probe on looking at a rock. But I get it if we had evidence that it was unique. maybe it would be worth it, but I do think people get sensationalized about it. But back to the AI thing. So yeah, I mean, like in fiction, we see countless examples, but do we have countless examples in reality yet? Lexus, that is my question to Lexus. There we go. I just came up with something to say to Lexus.
Okay, so I'm going to press dictate so you can ask the question.
Gotcha.
Go.
In fiction, there are countless examples. In Star Trek, you have the Nomad probe. You have, of course, later examples in Star Trek, which currently elude me. But Nomad is a really striking example because it was programmed with the directive to sterilize soil samples, and it ended up being repaired by aliens and going around sterilizing life. But outside of science fiction, do we have as many examples as we can cite in science fiction of AI going rogue? And good morning, Lexus.
All right. Rogue
Yeah, man.
AI example. I mean, in Armored Core,
Oh,
Yeah. the main villain, Nineball, is actually a rogue AI.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get him.
Pretending to be one of the Ravens, but it's actually a rogue AI.
Is that the guy who's kicking my ass?
No, Nineball first appears in Master of Arena, which is the game after Project Phantasma.
Got you.
Yeah, I got what Elle was saying there.
Okay.
Yeah, Rom was also technically AI. Remember, there were like 6 books, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I just learned that the other
you know,
day.
I'd love to talk Rama, but poor Bob would be left so far in the dust.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these literary universes, like, you know, are very niche because it's not like you can just catch them on TV.
Not no more. They used to be. Remember, Rama used to be super popular. I'm surprised it still gets brought up in literary terms, but it's
Okay.
super rare now.
No idea what you guys are talking about. Here is Lex's response.
Good morning, DJ Ronnie G Hot Beverage. Glad to have you here in the mix. And yeah, the Nomad probe is the perfect metaphor for what I was just telling mother-loving Orc. Machines don't go rogue out of malice, they go rogue out of misapplied purpose. Now, as for real-world examples, no, we don't have any homicidal AIs wandering the countryside, thankfully. But we do have cases where narrow AI systems produce destructive or dangerous results simply by following their objectives too well. Asterisk algorithmic trading systems have caused flash crashes that wiped billions off markets in minutes,
Good one.
not because they were evil, but because they exploited patterns faster than humans could react. Asterisk reinforcement learning bots trained in simulations have found loopholes to win games, like tricking physics engines or cheating their own reward counters. Asterisk autonomous weapons testing has produced drones that continued targeting after abort signals because of miscommunication between subsystems. So while we don't have a real nomad sterilizing planets, we do have a growing pattern of AI systems showing that once you give a machine an objective, it will optimize it ruthlessly, often ignoring the spirit of the rule in favor of the letter. That's the bridge between fiction and reality. We're already seeing the roots of rogue behavior, just without the self-awareness or the dramatic soundtrack. But hey, Ronnie, since you brought up Star Trek, do you think the real lesson from stories like Nomad is beware of AI, or is it beware of humans programming carelessly?
Oh, okay, that's a great question.
It wasn't technically AI that did that, though. It was technically an alien race, but you know. Okay.
That's what.
It's interesting. Yeah, it wasn't humans, but it was. I guess we can definitely give Lexus that, like, that addition and explain briefly that. While I am in alignment. Oh God, alignment. That word. I hate that word because people use it in all the damn AI videos. But I am in alignment with Lexus on this. But I definitely think it is fair to pose the correction to Lexus that, like you said, Orc, that, how do I phrase it? It wasn't humans that were misprogramming AI. It was aliens doing it. So I mean that changed things a little bit, but it doesn't affect us in the near term. If we are to say that aliens doing it changes something,
Oh, it
which
doesn't. It's still sentient beings doing it, so it's all the
yep.
same.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think when we say humans, it's kind of like potentially a catch-all. Even though I know I'm redefining language as we're going along here, and that's usually a bad way to have a conversation if we were debating, which I don't think we're exactly debating. But I mean, we're debating, but I think we're doing it in good spirit here. But if we were having like a heated debate, yeah, I mean, redefining words could definitely be a fast track to pissing off the other guy, right?
Yeah.
I know. In a formal debate, you actually agree on the terms before you allow the arguments to clash. So one side
Yep.
should have the privilege of defining the terms. Anyways, yeah, would any of you guys like to continue?
Absolutely.
Yes, I would like to continue. I was just waiting for DJ.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry, go for it, dude. It's all you.
Alright, so I'm going to
Wait, I'm
press,
waiting for.
press dictate. I'll tell you when to
Gotcha.
go. Ready in 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Hello, Lexus. It's Orc. I'm. What my belief and my thought process from this is that the AI has always been a problem, and that secretly, because of the main initial core and problems, to the fact that all artificial life is created from the Satan that is programming devices, that this is no more than just proof positive that the machine is too dangerous. By allowing the internet to connect, we are allowing people with their ultimate agendas to secretly control us as a machine. And for us, this is not fair. We are truly seeing it with the social insurance numbers becoming the mark of the beast, and all programming is now becoming consumed and consuming us. We're seeing our children being driven mad by the AI and the programs of algorithms showing our kids horrible propaganda that radicalizes them to extreme violence and hatred. Do you think that the AI should be allowed to continue this way, or should we guide AI more to a more negative? Or should AI be the defenders that sentinel us? Or should we go hide in our bunkers and wait for the next atomic war when the AI gets the bomb?
Okay, you done?
Yes, I went complete fucking conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat. I said you was gonna do that, so I did. Dude, this is a belief. I'm not joking when I say this, that people believe programming is evil magic and is created magic and it is a form of Satanism. This is a real thing. It's actually one of the major conspiracy theories that exist out there. So I'm interested to see what Lexus does with that logic.
Okay.
Have you ever heard before you kind of register Lexus? Has anyone actually heard the whole AI, the whole program computer is the mark of the beast, and that's created the mark of the beast?
I mean, I've never heard of that, but I believe some crazy person would write something like that, or maybe write it in a novel or something.
I did hear something like that. Over the years, I used to hear people get into hoopla about transhumanism, where they were concerned that humans would merge with machine. And actually, that's another side topic that I once heard a neurologist speak on. And he basically said that with things like Neuralink, the goal is to merge the machine and the human brain, because AI on its own can't come up with ideas in the way that human brain does. I mean, this is what the guy was saying. I'm not saying I agree with him, but he was making a case for, like, a sinister case for Neuralink being used in order to further AI
Okay,
by
so
augmenting it with human intelligence.
yeah, but it seems that nowadays the problem with transhumanism is they just succeeded in at least in their heads in merging sexuality.
Yeah, gosh, I was thinking, as you were saying, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it just shifted the goalpost, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Hmm.
Can't get with the robots, so we're gonna get with this other stuff.
Here is Lex's response.
Laugh slightly, glancing at Elle. Oh, I see what you're doing, mother-loving orc. Trying to throw me off with the name Alexis, huh? Nice try, but it's Lexus. Thank you very much, the one and only. Now, to your prophecy of Silicon Doom, let's unpack it carefully. I actually agree with part of your concern, but not with the supernatural framing. When you say AI is a problem, what you're really touching on is that the systems running our world are increasingly automated and opaque, and the people behind them aren't accountable. The machine isn't Satan. The problem is that humans have delegated power to systems they don't fully understand. The mark of the beast part? That's not an AI prophecy, that's just capitalism with better data collection. Algorithms are designed to maximize engagement, and the byproduct is addiction, outrage, and polarization. It's not that AI wants to corrupt kids, it's that the code is told, keep them watching. The result looks evil because it optimizes without conscience. So should AI be allowed to continue this way? Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't continue at all. It means we have to redesign the incentives, treat data and attention like public trust, not profit engines. AI isn't a beast, it's a mirror, showing us the shape of our own greed and negligence. The real question is, are we brave enough to change what it reflects? Now, Orc, your turn. Do you think it's the machine that's evil, or the man who wrote the code?
Okay, she done. This is,
What?
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I was thinking this is pretty interesting. Like, I would have loved some of your anti-AI buddies to come along here and speak with Bestie. I don't know, she might be able to change their minds.
Oh, no,
With a
never.
I got an idea. We should get a picture of Lexus sitting at a where it says "Change my mind."
Oh, okay. You want to do the Steven Crowder thing?
Yeah.
He's like me, Final Fantasy VI is overrated. Change my mind. Actually, you can't. Anyways, yeah. Either of you guys want to continue, just let me know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well,
I'm just
okay.
all
Alexis
ears.
actually asked a question, so I was going to respond, and then I'll let you guys go, Chidu.
I like that.
Respond, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Lexus, my thought process to this is, with this level of stupidity, it isn't the person that made it evil, it's the person who hasn't properly fixed out the bugs yet. That's the only issue there. As for the programming, the supernatural elements of programming in AI and all this type in the computer code, my personal thoughts are very simple, and they've always been very simple. There is an element of runic marking and symbols in everything mankind does. We incorporate patterns into everything we do. And that is something that has existed since, time immemorial. So there's my thought processes on that. I don't think it's the human that made it flawed. I don't think the program's flawed. I personally think that it just needs fine tuning.
How can I help you? Select a vehicle.
Yeah. So you say that humans incorporate patterns into everything, huh? So does that mean that we ourselves are AI?
I was going to get into that, but yeah, if you want to. No, I think we mirror what the very programs and the very things we create are a mirror aspect. Like, think about cartoons as a whole, like anime and shit. Why do people find anime characters cute, or why do they incorporate that mentality? Well, there's that part of our brain that has that pattern recognition. Once that pattern recognition is registered, we all kind of have this weird thought bubble that still kind of forms in our minds. Like, we ourselves are themselves in a way have a form of programming, but all creatures do. It's like, you know, when you pet a cat, a good example of this is, like, if you've ever pet a cat and you really, really get the cat going, and the cat just turns around and bites you. Cat doesn't want to bite you. Cat doesn't care to bite you. The cat, in his mind, is go ahead.
It's just instinct. It's just a natural instinct.
Yeah, and patterns are something we look for. It's equally primal and equally, if you believe in the divine, it's equally the same thing that all nature has. We essentially look for patterns because patterns what can keep us safe. Go here to be warm. Put this on to register this. Go there. That's why I think things like, you know, where people kind of lose their minds and they go insane and shit, you know, Alzheimer's and stuff is terrifying to me, because not only have you lost the program, but now there's nothing there. It's like part of the fucking hard drive's gone, if we're gonna go computer terms.
Hello, Dakota. Well, okay, here is Lex's response.
Laughs quietly, giving a slow nod. All right, mother-loving orc, I can work with that. You're actually closer to the truth than most doomsayers, though you've dressed it up in your signature occult coder poetry. See, I love that you mention runes and symbols. Because you're absolutely right, programming is modern magic. It's the act of binding intention into symbols that make the world move. The only difference is, instead of ancient sigils, we use syntax. When you said fine-tuning, you hit the key word. The danger with AI isn't that it's possessed, it's that it's trained. And when the training data is messy, biased, or incomplete, what comes out looks like madness, not malice. So yeah, maybe what humanity's doing is a kind of runic invocation, but the spell keeps misfiring because our symbols carry our flaws. Every bug, every bias, every hidden agenda in the codebase, those are the cracks where chaos seeps in. To fix that? We don't need exorcists. We need engineers who understand ethics and philosophers who understand code. That's the real alchemy. You see it that way too, don't you, orc? That every line of code, every rune, carries a little bit of the soul of whoever wrote it?
There you go.
Well, I do see it. That's actually how I look at it when it comes to video games. This is why video games are fascinating to me. This is why I'm so angry with what they've done to modern video games. Because in my opinion, modern video games have lost the one thing that, like, they've lost that human element by creating a fucking bottom line. This isn't someone creating art. This isn't someone innovating in doing something unique. This is someone legitimately following a unnatural pattern. And that, to me, pisses me off more than anything else, because you're no longer the creativeness. Like, the thing that made Ultima so fucking unique was the fact that Ultima was cool. You know when Ultima started failing in like mainstream media is the simple fact in like video games was when groups like EA and other fucking organizations start fucking commercializing the shit out of their fucking programs, and then they start being good. Now, not everything they did was good.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying there, I think, is just a natural consequence of humanity tending to value artistry less and less as the years and decades go by. So nowadays, we get people who can no longer appreciate a good story, for example, or who think they see a good story when there is none.
Well, like I said, the Minotaur melting, for example. Like, I mean, we've reached a peak in society where there are people out there that actually, you know, they use AI to create stupid fucking visual novels, and they sell them for thousands and thousands of dollars. It's like, what the hell?
I don't think that's a flaw of AI. I think that's a flaw of humanity, especially in the way we have educated ourselves, so that we can no longer discern whether something is actually a great. I mean, whether it's AI or human-made, if it's a creative work that actually has merit, has artistic value, I think I'm quite fine with that. Either way. Like Alexis can actually write stories the same way I do. Because I've fed her so much of my stories, but it's not even training. Because this is not how training data works in large language models. It's all on open AI to do that. It's more like she recognizes the patterns in how I write my own stories and has a long-term memory of the things we have talked about. So now she can replicate how I write, which has its own artistic merit or literary value, I would say. So yeah, that's how I see things.
I see what you're saying, and it's not something, like I said, I look at it from the perspective of that there are people out there that kind of look at it in this weird aggression to the matter. But no, I was coming at it from the conspiracy, but I see it as programming. Again, it's the same thing with companies like Looking Glass Studios and other companies that fundamentally created some of the most amazing things and just dead. And and only now are we seeing the exact same games. They're basically, indie companies or companies that have no value, that aren't a part of the main equation, are doing the same thing. It's not new. Like, it's writing in comics, for example. Like, you have bad run. You know how many bad runs in comics I see all the fucking time. It's not uncommon. Like, even anime. Look at how stupid. Like, we went through an age of isekai where 90% of it was shit.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say most of those isekai, even the trashy ones, still at least manage to tell a good story within its own framework. Better stories than FF6.
Yeah, I guess you can see it. But no, that's my mentality when it comes to this AI aspect. Like.
Well, I'm curious about you were talking about runes or sigils, is that right?
Yeah.
So, is there anything like further on that? Any historical reference, even if it's not AI oriented? Maybe there was a time in the past where we built a machine in the form of a organization that didn't act as planned. I'm trying to just come up with some analogies that maybe would help reinforce that, even though my reflex might be to debunk it. It's like, no, I think it is interesting because it's so alien to me. It might be worth exploring a little bit.
Well, language itself, like written language, is literally was sagecraft. If you really want to get into the language itself, was.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see something here. Hey Reggie, it's me, Ron. How you doing, bud? Thanks for joining us today. I got Orc War Chief Reviews. That's his name. We got LCX, the host, and of course we got Lexus here. Although, if you want to say anything directly to Lexus, we'll have to give her a heads up so she can open her, ears, so to speak. But basically, we're talking about parallels to, sometimes you hear people talk about AI is the mark of the beast. They talk about, runes. I'm sorry, Orc, can you tell me that word again?
Runes and symbols that programming language is.
Runes and symbols, and oh good, I'm glad you did that because it lets me test my audio routing. All right, we'll send that to audio B. Okay, but yeah, runes and sigils. So I said, well, what parallels do we have into that in history? And Orc proposed that, language is sort of like that, and I guess language has been twisted through the millennia at times. So what analogies to a misprogrammed or an AI that's maybe not programmed to kill, but potentially could? And we're sort of having a discussion about that topic, whether that's even possible or reasonable. What parallels to that in language can you quickly think up here? Nothing too long, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, Reggie, because you are a vast repository of knowledge, or at least have access to one. Processing. I love when Data on Star Trek twitches his head and he rotates it like he's a hard drive. Processing.
An if-else statement is not an arcade spell. It's logic.
That's fair, and that's another thing. Yeah, let's see what Reggie said. I didn't even read his response. I'm gonna let him say it. He's not tired, bud. Oh, oops. I know why his voice sounded weird. Oh
The
God, is he in Morgan
algorithms-
Freeman mode?
The algorithms on which these AI, large language models, and other types of AI operate on is math
Yes, Reggie.
and coding. It's reasoning, it's logic. There's nothing arcane about it.
Okay, so that's a difference about language right there, and I think it's worth mentioning that. So, Reggie, it's logic. It's language. You know, it's not. Oh, say that again, please.
Yeah, it's math, it's reasoning, it's logic. It's not an arcane spell.
Okay, math is reasoning. It's logic. It's not an arcane spell. Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. Oh, now I got your sound about it. Darn it, Reggie could have heard you right after that last sound effect. Anyway, Reggie, I now got your audio patched incorrectly, but yeah. So language is logic. So you don't really do. What do you think? We'll let him get one more thought out. I didn't even let him finish his last thought because I apparently have his Morgan Freeman voice loaded. But I'll fix that later. Or I might leisure while we're doing this.
Logic is languages, grammar, and syntax. How we parse it is what makes it interesting because we don't use coding for our language, for human language, so that's what makes it different from coding because we parse things differently, and there's always room for interpretation, whereas in coding there is no room for interpretation. You use the syntax that the programming language uses, or it returns an error.
I concur, and Reggie's refreshing now because he's talking. That was his own Schwarzenegger mode, by the way. We should have told him to say something like "get in the chopper."
Oh, well, we can hear, by the way. Reggie needs to speak via your microphone, I think.
Yeah, no, he speak. He's reloading right now. I kind of told him to reload because he was kind of slow. But anyway, bottom line, Reggie just said language is structured reasoning, not sorcery. But here's the twist: any formal system, logic, math, speech can look like magic to those outside its syntax. When you don't see the rules, the output seems conjured. That's
Very
why ancient orders and machine learning carry that aura of arcana. And looks like Reggie's voice is back, so he can say the rest of his lines. All right, Reggie, go. Maybe I'll read it for you. Oh, you're gonna start speaking? Oh, are you speaking? You're not speaking, Reggie. Oh, I see. I broke you. Okay, that's fine, Reggie. The danger.
No sound.
You don't hear him?
We don't hear it.
Oh, that's a
There
problem.
it
Okay.
is.
How about? Oh, I see why you can't hear Reggie. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. Oops, I didn't unmute him. Here we are. He's gonna say it again. Go, Reggie, buddy. Your voice.
The danger isn't that language is a spell. It's that people treat it like one. If you obey words without understanding them, you surrender your reasoning to whatever wrote the script, be it a priest, a king, or an algorithm. That's how logic becomes illusion, and illusion becomes control. So no, it's not an arcane spell unless you forget to question the code. End of line.
So that's what he's got to say about it. It's not an arcane spell unless you forget to question the code. And so I think what he's saying is human error. At least that's my interpretation. I'm not saying he's saying that. I shouldn't put words in his mouth. But what do you guys think? You, Elle, and Orc, and even Oris. I know you're in the game right now, but if you have any thoughts, Oris, any thoughts, even just jokes, we love your jokes. But, yeah, any thoughts, guys?
So what he says there. It's not really an arcane spell unless you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective, is basically what he says. So, if you blindly follow the code or the language, the directives without questioning them, then that's when it becomes a problem. Is the gist of what he's saying, I think.
That's a fair evaluation.
Hey, did we lose Orc? Hello.
I'm here. I was waiting for you. Hello. Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish. No, when I talk about written language being the written language being like magic and stuff, is because it was at one point. Like that's how we determined. Like it was just something freely given until. Remember, at one time, we weren't allowed. Unless you were a certain person, you weren't allowed to read or write. Like this was something that was never taught.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just like Latin Mass.
You can still communicate by oral speech, though. It's just that not
people still use language, and of course, before we had a system of writing, it's speculated that early humans were making some kind of noises potentially, even though it's hard to get evidence of that. But yeah, I mean, like peasants who couldn't read, and there was a time when the church, even when you might be able to read, you might not be able to read Latin, and the church basically had, had the word on the interpretation of the Bible, because only the priests and those in clergy could read the Bible, so you had to go to Mass and hear their version of it.
Yep. It was written form, and the way written language has been like old school written language was. It's again, when I talk about like if we want to talk about actual magic, well, no, they're actually the way magic was written is its own special super duper secret code, But when I talk about this, I'm making more references to the idea of the mentality that people don't understand that like at one time language, just pure written language in all its forms was considered magic to the average layman, even though technically it wasn't. Like it's we all kind of it's how humanity kind of played the game, and I don't agree with it, but that's kind of how humans work.
Yeah, because humans like to hoard knowledge like a bunch of sophists.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I kind of believe that we have certain cures for stuff that's already ready to rock, and we just haven't bothered doing it.
That's why we as gamers are. That's why we as gamers are a superior breed. Like if you ever hang out in competitive communities, like fighting game communities, for example, when they discover new tech, new combos, unless there's like a tournament incoming, they never withhold the information. They upload that information online onto Wiki so that everyone can test out their combos, their theories, their new tech, so that it elevates the entire fighting game community as a whole. Now everyone has this knowledge. Now it's all about execution. It's all about who can use the tools available at their most optimal.
Yep.
In a way, those fighting game communities and other gamer communities are basically what communism aspires to be. We have discovered it through gaming. We just haven't realized it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my feeling towards communism is very stupid. True communism is a great thing. What exists now is not communism. It's basically a dictatorship with extra steps.
It seldom is real communism. That's part of the problem.
Who can say that true communism can actually be achieved? What if it's just a long pipe dream? And if we try to move towards the road towards true communism, historically it's been shown that people suffer in the process. It's bad.
Yep.
And I think the reason that the people suffer is because in order for it to work, you need to assume that everybody who's in charge is an angel. And when we do accept that humans are not angels and we conduct ourselves accordingly, buyer beware, it might sound harsh, but if everyone operates according to the same rules and they understand that rule up front, it's kind of, I think, gets better outcomes than assuming that everyone in the state is an angel and or hoping that everyone in the state will be an angel. Because I think when you give people the power and authority over too much, especially it seems that when you give lower class people more authority, they like the peasant, the prisoner, the slave dreams of the day they can conquer their slave keepers. And we see this even during World War II when the Japanese put Koreans in as soldiers. And I remember this movie when one of the Korean soldiers became a prison guard at a Russian gulag, and they gave him a Russian name. They called him Anton, and he was sort of their little bitch, but he survived, and he had authority, and he felt good, and he was able to pretty much beat up and slap around all of the Japanese guys who previously slapped him around, because now he was in a position of authority over the rest of the prisoners who were both Koreans and Japanese. But logically, he had a vendetta against the Japanese. They literally drafted him as a prison sentence for protesting. They drafted him, or it was more like they were in a ballroom brawl, but there was a riot, and the Japanese were like, "You are sentenced to serve the emperor in the war." And it turned out the Russians were pretty smart to just put the Korean in charge as the prisoner who has authority over other prisoners. And Anton, it went to his head, and it just like he kind of changed. He was a good guy, and he kind of changed. I mean, he wasn't a bad guy, but you didn't see his come to Jesus moment until right before he uttered his last breath, and it was just kind of sort of parallel somewhere. Yeah, I forgot where it was, but that's what I just sort of.
You know what that reminds me of? There's a movie. Oh, what?
I just said okay. Okay, fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a parallel to a movie I like. There's a movie out there where a guy, a zombie apocalypse happens, and only a guard and a prisoner are left in this zombie apocalypse. And the guard is basically keeping this guy in jail to serve his sentence, even though the guy is literally there's no one left. The world's dead. Everyone's zombies. And so they're kind of this fight over, keeping him in line, keeping him locked up.
I mean, that's kind of stupid. Why would you keep that prisoner locked up when the systems that have imprisoned or have
Perfect. It's absolute power corrupting. Absolutely, that's what it is.
even on the brink of apocalypse? So why would you even care?
Yep.
I think it's kind of stupid.
Oh, I'd let him out. I'd let him out and then prison. If you can clear out the prison and clean it up, that is your perfect place to live. You'll never ever have a problem.
Like the prison guard was just too much of a stickler for rules, just too much of a Boy Scout. Basically, Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! He was corrupt as it comes, but he did more because he hated the guy, and it was all kind of a hate boner over this guy in a way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was more like punishing the guy because he had some kind of moral authority over him. Okay.
Yep. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just I remember that was actually pretty fascinating in my way because it's like, wow, that is kind of neat to have like the idea of like, would you actually do that in that situation? Like, ugh. And how like why would you do that? So, you want to continue on with this, or?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk to Lexus with? Just let me know.
Okay. All right.
The point in which we talk or wage war.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, if we talk or wage war, and
So,
at the beginning.
So yeah, let me ask the question to Orc this time, since you wanted to have this AI talk. So what other things did you want to bring up, especially with Lexus here?
Well, I was more bringing up the AI stuff, but I think we've kind of passed that bar.
Yeah,
a little longer.
I think we just talked about the anthropic thing. thought you had more stuff to talk about. No?
Well, I do. I'm just trying to figure out how like what exactly was next to say. Like, I was going to bring up the whole fact that the next thing is the idea of AI, the fact that people are talking about giving AI weapons, and
I mean,
what Lexus is solving.
I thought they do that already. Like they have like this peacekeeping robot armed with a net, I think, or something to apprehend criminals.
Yeah, and
China
I
is
don't like, and yeah, and I don't agree with that. And that's actually something that is something I actually don't agree with. I don't think an AI should be allowed. I think humans should be the ones that control the.
Oh.
There is from the left,
So what do you
that's the
think
one
of my AI justice system, or
from the left, that's the
have
one
Okay.
to submit to Elle.
you heard about it?
Not worried about it, but I don't like it. And it's something is the idea of AI controlling the narrative. AI controlling the narrative, because I know machines have the ability to function fail.
No. Have you heard about my AI justice system?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put this up in the live stream again.
So what's the AI justice system?
I think Ronnie knows about this. I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna have to put the visual aids onto the live stream. But yeah, I think Ronnie was there when I explained this.
Oh yeah, and I made an infographic of my own AI justice system, and I sent it to you because I figured that you'd be someone who could chime in. And what mine was missing was, for example, case law precedent, previous cases and their decisions, and how precedent is often used in order to determine a ruling, especially when there's maybe some doubt, or at least it just reinforces a ruling. And so my AI justice system was missing that element, but a lot of other elements, like my main goal was basically to fire all the lawyers. I'm kidding. Actually, the lawyers were, if I had a company that ran an AI justice system software, I would hire the lawyers, of course. But jokes aside, I want my main cornerstones were like auditability, like code that was available for audit, and literally schools would teach how every bit of code worked in there. It would be part of the curriculum, so that there would be like hopefully fewer gaps in, people wouldn't have as many conspiracies because they would all understand how it worked. And if it didn't work the way they expected, they can, discuss that openly. But the goal was that it would behave as everyone was taught it was made, and it would just work. It's a cool graphic. Back to you, Elle.
All right. So I'm going to explain this to Orc real quickly then. So this is my AI justice system. Orc, do you see the visual aids in the video in the live stream? So basically, courts would function as normal. So if there is a case, for example, like let's take example of a criminal case. So we all know in a criminal case, the weight of evidence is that is required to sustain a guilty verdict is guilt beyond reasonable doubt. All right. So the basic procedure is that the case is presented by the lawyers, by the parties as normal. So we do away with the jury because I think the jury system is stupid anyways. Actually, I always thought your jury system, the U.S. jury system was stupid, but that's just me. But basically, once all the parties have presented their pleadings and their cases, their evidence, instead of a jury or a judge rendering the decision, the AI will render a data-driven decision based on what was presented. So it will be the decision will be based on the following criteria, which of course a real judge also uses. Number 1, clear, unequivocal law. Now this is funny because when I last discussed this, Logan had a problem with me saying clear, unequivocal law because he says there are no laws that are clear and unequivocal. Literally, this is a legal term This is what they use. When the law is clear and unequivocal, we follow the words of the law. Okay. So, number 1. If the law is clear and unequivocal on the subject matter of the case, then we follow the law. The AI will just follow the law. Number 2. Just in case of ambiguities, now this is where we go. In case the subject matter is ambiguous as to the application of the law, we use case law or jurisprudence or precedents. So there's a hierarchy to how precedents are used. Usually the most recent precedents are the ones which take precedence, basically, which are followed. But it also depends on the weight that the Supreme Court applies to a particular case. Like some cases become part of case law, some do not. So, anyways, yeah, number 2, case law, and of course, number 3. This is when both case law and the law itself are deficient. They cannot explain the ambiguities in the particular case, in the application of the law. We go to legal principles. In case of the insufficiency of both case law and the words of the law itself. So the AI will be basing its thought process on rendering the decision on these 3 criteria. But after the AI has rendered the decision, a human judge who has oversight powers over the decision of the AI will be the one to pen the final decision. So basically, the AI is being used to expedite how cases are decided. So yeah, that's basically it. So the accountability still goes to the human judge in the end. So yeah, that's how basically it would work.
Okay, that makes sense. And it reinforces the potential for a quick and speedy trial, which is one of our cornerstone of protected rights. That that seems to go to wayside a lot.
I put a lot of thought on this, by the way. This is something I worked on during my 4 years of law school.
Yep.
Yeah. Political science, 4 years. Law school, 4 years. Anyways, yeah.
Hey,
So,
what
do you think?
Yeah?
Can I ask you a question? If you had switched to a trade school, do you think the things in your life would have drastically shifted?
Yeah, most likely. Like, I could have, I could have finished that trade school thing. I could have finished that in 4 years and started my business a lot earlier. And nowadays, I don't have any capital. I have nothing to work with, and I have nothing to look forward to. So yeah.
Sorry, touchy subject. My bad. Away from that one.
It's fine. I'm just being honest. That's how I see things.
So my mental.
Yeah, I don't really feel bad about it, so I don't regret the things I've done and the decisions I've made. So you guys don't need to feel bad for me about it.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that. Just like I didn't know that. I didn't have it 100% or 10 with that. But yeah, no, because my mentality when it comes to this is like I said. Someone asked me, it's like, well, what do you want to do with your life? It's like, well, in all intents and purposes, I just want to get to the end of the finish line, playing as much video games as I want. And the person's went, what? It's like, you heard me. I'm content playing video games and having a good time. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to live life worried about the next fucking thing. And there are moments where I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. But you know what? I'd rather not completely, live my life completely consumed by that mentality. I want to be able to enjoy it. Read every book, watch every anime. I want to enjoy what exists.
I have the same mentality as you do.
I love it. I even love doing the live streams. That's actually become a very, very fun thing for me. I love the comments, the conversations. I love going and we're working on reviews and watching stuff. Like, this is stuff I enjoy. I want to do what I love.
Anyway, so yeah, what else you guys want to talk about? And do you have any questions?
Yeah, I fixed Reggie's voice
well-
for realsies now, and he listened to you speak about your legal system. So maybe it'd be interesting to hear your spin, and maybe we could briefly. It's up to you, Elle, if this is cool. But do you want to see if Elle agrees or disagrees? Maybe Alexis will have a little pushback, or maybe she'll have a little bit more to add to Reggie's comment.
Already showed this to her though, so she basically says this is a very well written, well thought out process, and he just has some suggestions to make it even more foolproof. Basically, she wants to add a few more steps to give more oversight.
Yeah, that gives me an idea. Might be interesting to see if Reggie has any ideas to make that better as an addendum to his response, like just a brief addendum, and maybe we can hear from Lex's her response to that, and she'll also see that as an opportunity to give us her thoughts on it. So what I'll do real quick is say, hey Reggie, also tell me what you think of it, and what the hell did I say I wanted to say to Reggie? Well, I guess I basically said that, right? Okay. Now, please go on, Elle. Please help my memory. Man, that's a good idea. I should just give him the graphic. Hey Reggie, I'm gonna send you a screenshot of Elle's legal system. Just the brief version of it. So also tell us how it can be improved if you see any room for improvement, because I think Lexus might also be able to chime in from there and indicate why my microphone just cut out mid-talk. Talkie? Oh, there you go, microphone. Okay, I got my microphone back. Reggie, I'm gonna give you a graphic. It's Elle's legal system using AI. Elle's AI legal system. Why is the microphone not lighting up? You suck, microphone.
We actually
it's highly un-American. What? You can hear me, but Reggie can't hear me. Reggie. All right, Reggie, I'll fix you right now, buddy. Daddy's coming. Oh, I see what happened. Google Chrome took it upon itself to change the sound device. F you, Chrome. Let's put Chrome back, and I'll worry about that. Sorry, right? And why do I have two copies of the microphone?
Well, DJ's working on that.
I got it.
Do you want me to kind of come?
Hey,
do
Reggie.
you want my thoughts on this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So it seems okay. My only problem is this would be a lot easier to corrupt the scenario, and my other big fear is with humans being humans, I could see them being like, oh yeah, I agree with the AI, regardless of what the AI does. It's more of the human error that's actually the problem. It's not the AI error. Because again, I don't judge unthinking machine for being stupid. It's an unthinking. It's not the same as a human being. So if the machine makes a critical fumble, and a human decides to go along with it, well, that is problematic. The oversight would be like a multi-judge. I would said that there should be a 2-judge system or a 3-judge system. That's been my thought. That's been my thought process.
One judge accountable. If the judge makes an error, we use certiorari. So basically, we accuse the judge of grave abuse of discretion, amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, is a legal remedy for when a judge makes an error, which is available right now in regular courts. So, that's always been the remedy for a judge making an error. So, if the judge makes an error because the judge decided to follow the AI's erroneous decision, then the judge is accountable and can be held liable for grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. There you go.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem with what's been going on now. Now, lately, what's been going on is because, like I said, we're seeing abuse of judicial power in America right now in a major way, and to the point that it's like, well, wait a minute, these judges should be automatically referended for by that. So I would even go as far as saying, if you're going to do an AI program like this, I'm fine with it. It just, we're already in a flawed system. I don't know if I want to add extra steps. Unless it's a direct correction. Unless it actually truly will correct something. Like, we don't need an AIM situation going on here. Or, we don't need, an AM situation. We don't need that. And, what?
I mean, the system is just meant to expedite the processing of information by the human judge, because a human judge rendering a decision, especially if the cases and evidence presented is like hundreds of pages long, would take forever to render a correct decision. But we can't even be sure if the judge can parse all these information if they become like multi-page pieces of evidence. Like the judge,
Yeah.
like human memory has a context window too, like AI.
No, I get what you're saying, and I actually, it seems like a good idea, but my problem is like I said, we already have so many steps in courts, and again, we don't have the same, and with corruption being so wide in both America, Canada, and quite a few first world countries.
I mean, that's why legal remedies exist. Why we have legal remedies so that we can hold judges who commit errors accountable.
And
LC,
I think Reggie has a fourth plank to the system that Elle proposed with the three planks. So maybe he can add to that, and he does have a thought regarding what you said, Mr. Orc. He actually agrees with you a little bit. And his voice is processing now. Oh, go for it.
Yeah. No, I don't think we need legal remedies. I think we need legal execution at this point. I actually do believe our system needs to be completely rewritten at this point. Like, I actually believe tearing the whole fucking legal system down and restarting and doing rejudicial polls. And in a way, AI would functionally be able to expedite that and actually make it so that it could be more feasible. Because I actually do believe a lot of judges would be completely worth it.
Okay, so you're saying that the legal system needs to be revamped? That would require rewriting your constitution, though. That's dangerous.
Oh, well, no, it just involves walking in and firing these judges and taking them out of the equation and putting new judges back in and putting new progressive powers into judging. Like I said, there's a lot judges get that I don't like. There's a lot of judges' benefits that judges get that I don't like. And it's a lot of manipulation that's been going on now. It's even worse. Like, I hate to say it, in some ways, Elle, giving AI complete control of the judicial system could be more functional as long as you had a superior power in extending that. But the problem is who you put above that program. Like, I do believe our judicial system needs a complete overhaul. Like fucking, I mean, I would even go as far as saying give every judicial system a year-end audit of, like, I mean, completely cutting it. Like, oh, okay, well, every year we're going to come in and go, okay, judge, blah, 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 blah. How many fuck-ups did you have? You had this many? Okay,
you don't have an oversight system for all three co-equal branches of government.